Hello and welcome. This is Alchemist X, and this is the weekly update for October 7th. So this week, Phantom of the Kill is once again back, and with that, the new unit Ragnarok, who is a mounted unit, much like Minerva and Hercule before her, is arriving. She is a very much anticipated unit, so her and her Memento are out, but there's a couple of things to note about her that are going to be a little bit different. The big major thing is that you're not going to find her shards in the Louise shop. So that's going to become important when we do the banner overview. And then she's got a little bit less enlightenment, which is kind of a good thing, bringing her more towards like the Lisa Knott Tiferet end of the spectrum. And she's also a very solid unit. So if you are, if you've been waiting for her, then you already know. But if you are in need of a just really strong fire unit, she could be a very good option for a lot of people because she's fairly accessible to get. Not the cheapest unit to get, but definitely by far not the worst. And then as an added bonus, if you're fortunate enough to have a decent collection of the otherworldly enlightenment shards, then you can substitute those for her enlightenment. And that way her high level of shard scarcity is much less of an issue. However, the otherworldly shards themselves are quite scarce unless you buy bundles with them or have just been hoarding them for a really long time. So there is that. But overall, I would definitely give her my endorsement. Just mounted units in general are both cool and functionally very useful, and then she just does a lot of damage too, and just that whole mechanic of getting an extra turn and a free skill use count when you kill something is awesome. So I have pretty much nothing to say but praise for Ragnarok, even if she looks like if Levitain was a flight attendant. But that's okay, we're not grading on design right now. So I'm going to pass on her personally because we are very close to the anniversary and almost certainly very close to Gate 7, and then the next Genesis chapter should be coming out next month if our estimates are correct, and with that is going to come Nimble, who is also a fire unit, and I'm not made out of elemental shards, nor am I made out of gems, so I'm going to have to pass, but it's sort of a reluctant one in this case. But overall, that's pretty much the content for this week. So we've got the unit, the Memento. Every time a new Phantom of the Kill unit is released, there's going to be a map for their weapon. Then usually they'll add some other challenge maps as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at that content right after this hilarious string of counters. I have to admit, global units are just amazing sometimes because JP just did not plan for them. Okay, quick note, the box event for Phantom of the Kill is rerunning right now, so you can get Mirror and Nyx shards randomly from the hard quest, and then also the repeatable portion of the box event is a bit better than today's standard for repeatable boxes. So if you got the event tickets and the AP to spare, definitely can be worth it. Let's jump into the normal POTK content though. So the new things are a hell map and then also, of course, the weapon map for the new character. So the hell map is Alliance of the Discarded. Definitely recommend doing this, at least to get the no deaths milestone. 25 otherworldly enlightenment shards is good reward. Everybody could use those, whether they're at the point of enlightening yet or not. But of course, you have to have enlightened units to be able to clear that map. But everyone can use those items. And then you'll find the Ragnarok's weapon map. In here, the weapon ones always show the newest character on the banners, for those that aren't familiar with all of the POTK imagery yet. And then I just wanted to point out, before we jump to the banners real quick, that if you're still getting used to the POTK milestones, there are two maps in particular that will help you with the enemy-related ones. For Whom the Princess Weeps, Episode 5 will give you all the puppets you need. If you've got a map clearing unit, you could just knock that out. If you didn't even want to burn the AP, if you weren't farming vision clear or anything, you could just nuke the puppets and then dip out. They can't take the milestone away once they give it to you. And then for armored and soldier eldritches, you'll find a good chunk of them in a map that can also potentially earn you a decent amount of Zenny. And that is the Holy Lance Longinus and Divine Purity Bow Artemis. A mouthful. But you'd have to run it multiple times, but every time you run it, there's a small chance that a golden mummy will appear and give you a ton of gold ingots. So that's a level that's been often farmed by people in need of Zenny. And there's a couple other random things running, like the Way to True Skill if you need character XP. And then the Apple Garden is another good one for both gold and XP. But yeah, that is it for the content. So let's move on to the banners. Okay, so the TLDR for this week is definitely going to be it depends. Because if you are not into anything Phantom of the Kill related, it's a skip week. If you are, there's some good options. Whether you're trying to get Ragnarok or you're trying to, grab a unit that you missed in the past. A very straightforward solution to those, though. If you want one of the God Killers or Ancient Killers, there's a 9-step, and their Mementos are also rerunning. And it's as simple as that. There's one other banner I'll briefly touch on, but otherwise, that's pretty much going to be it. So this paid banner, I would say for most people it should be a skip, because if spending, $30 worth of gems and getting like Forcus and Bashozin and nothing that's useful to you is unacceptable as an outcome, then definitely skip this banner. If you're willing to take a pretty big gamble, then it could be worth it. But I just, I don't usually endorse that kind of thing. I usually prefer more guaranteed solutions. So there's a bunch of 3-steps. I would skip them because of the existence of the 9 steps. Then we have a kind of interesting banner. So you can pick your own, and it's got some pretty good units on here. But the main thing is just opportunity cost. So if you're in that small group of people where you don't really care about the more recent units, and there's 3 or more Dark Princesses that you'd like to get, and you want to just throw 5,500 gems at that to guarantee one of them, could be worth it. I just think for most people, those gems would probably be better spent towards something else. Then we go into the 9 steps. So if you want Ragnarok, this is the way to do it, because you can't buy her shards in the shop, so transmuting is not an option, and the 3-step is garbage, so that leaves you with this. So, if you'll get lucky, you could get her before. If not, if you want her full kit and just have her be like your unit, then I would count on spending 33,000 gems, so between this and the Memento banner. And then just one more side note, since we do get free tickets for the Ragnarok 3-step, you might want to wait until Monday, because you probably won't get anything good. But in that off chance that you get her on that first step, you could skip doing this. Pretty much same thing for all of the other ones, minus what I said about the free tickets. You can get one of these units if you're willing to spend the gems on it. I think they're all good. Some are more good than others in terms like Cassius is a perfectly good unit, but she's a Thunder Pierce unit, and Gerald is just such a good free-to-play option for that. There's just a lot of competition. Whereas somebody like Lisa Knott, there's really no competition for Lisa Knott. She's just ridiculously good. You don't even need to enlighten her that much. You don't even need her Memento. I use her all the time. I don't have her Memento. I don't even have her Gate 2. So Lisa Knott definitely always gets my endorsement. And also, I love her design too, but there's just so much to love there. So then we go into the Mementos, and it's pretty much the same thing as what I said about the 9 steps, just applied to Mementos, and it's, of course, a bit cheaper. So it's nice you can guarantee it with 5 instead of 9. And then one thing that kind of is a bummer is that they don't give you summon coins on the previous steps. Instead, you get Reminiscence of a Robot, which we have so many of those by now if you've been playing for a while. The summon coins would have been way nicer just because you can buy, for 100, you can buy otherworldly shards. And that would have been much better. But nonetheless, if you want or need one of these Mementos, this is going to be where to do it. And everything else is older. So if you don't care about that and you burn some discount tickets on this, you could still burn one more on this or finish this banner if you're after the Sprite Trio. But that's all I got to say about this week's stuff. So hopefully, if you are going for Ragnarok or one of the mounted units, I wish you good luck, and I will see you all next time.